It's really exciting for me tonight to introduce our keynote speaker. Most people know Jane Fonda for being an actress and a two-time recipient of the Academy Awards and all the work that she's done in theater and television. And people know her also as an exercise guru and as many people know her as a feminist and activist. But what most people don't know is the incredible contributions she has made to our field. And you're going to hear this from her tonight because it's an amazing story, and we really are very grateful for all that. I'm very grateful, too, for all she's done. When I retired, Kathy and I moved to Pennsylvania from Atlanta. And it was about the same time that Jane was finishing her book. And I'm very excited about this book. And so one of the things when we looked for a faith community in rural, conservative, north central Pennsylvania, we will only go to an absolutely public, welcoming, affirming congregation of gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning youth, people. And so the only one was the little, small, local UU church. And so we joined it, and just soon after, they asked me if I would teach in the OWL program, which is my absolute favorite curriculum in this world, Our Whole Lives. And they said, you'll be working with a team with 13 to 17-year-olds. That's quite a spread. And so I said, great. And at the same time, I thought, one of my dreams, while Jane's dream was to write this book, my dream was to use this book with a group of kids, not just individually. So I talked with our UU minister and director of Christian education, both director of religious education, both who are here with us, and said, I'd really think that this book goes right along with our curriculum. What do you think about getting it for our kids? And they absolutely said yes right away. So we got the books, gave them to our kids, and several of the kids said, "Who's Jane Fonda?" So the next week, I showed one of my favorite coming to adolescent books growing up, showed a movie, Peace, Love, and Misunderstanding, which I love and is a great coming-of-age film. And we showed it at the church so that everybody would know who Jane Fonda was. But it was very exciting for me to really work with the kids and to work with this book. And at the end of 7 months, which is how long our course went, we had a retreat. And all the young people came to the retreat, and as part of the retreat, we had them critique the book and give responses. And most of Jane's work, by the way, has been with underserved kids. And we live in a community where there are a lot of underserved people, and our kids are going to be their educators, I think. And so the father of one of our youth filmed their responses. And I think the best introduction to Jane is going to come from our minister, our director of religious education, and our youth.
Male breasts.
I'm just gonna be reading and be like, male breasts. Teenage years are a confusing time. Being a teen is a clear guide with really good information.
Being a teen is a concise but thorough guide to all sorts of issues that teens deal with. Everything from acne to bullying, from dealing with parents to sexual decision making. It is no nonsense and conversational in a way that teens should find approachable. Our teens had no trouble at all doing their homework every week. I teach relationship and sexuality education in the Unitarian Universalist Association's Our Whole Lives program, and this book is a perfect companion to that curriculum. I highly recommend it.
Being a teen is one of the most refreshing accounts of sexuality that I have ever read.
Jane Fonda's book, it does a great job for people who have, questions and they don't want to go talk to their parents about it. It's a great resource, a great place to look, and it's also something easy to talk about with, peers and stuff.
Well, obviously they didn't do birth control.
I feel like they could have...
Like, if they're already pregnant, they probably should have...
It talks about birth control because people that are
pregnant.
Being a teen is a very helpful guide for those who don't have sufficient information about sex, puberty, love, and relationships. It is a way to discover more information about things in which you may need to make difficult decisions. Doesn't make any sense, sorry. I just skipped the last part. I would highly recommend this book to anyone who has any questions about anything that has to do with being a teen.
I was apprehensive at first about reading the book because I thought it'd be generic stuff that I already knew about. But after I read the first chapter, I really liked it, and I ended up reading the whole thing.
I thought the book was really good and easy to understand, so if you're not an expert like Bill, you know what she's talking about. Also, I thought the cover was really nice because it wasn't like some picture of overly happy teens smiling and holding hands and laughing, because that would have been bad, so...
Being a teen provides information that everyone should know. It can clarify any questions that one might have.
I was one of the instructors for our Whole Lives curriculum for our adolescents, and I just think that Fonda's book is a wonderful contribution. We hope to educate teens so that they don't go through the anxiety and shame or guilt that some of us went through as we were sorting out our own sexuality and our own feelings and creating relationships.
Okay.
Being a teen is a wonderful guide.
I thought the book was a shining lighthouse of truth in puberty's sea of misinformation.
I'm the Reverend Ann Keeler Evans, minister of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Susquehanna Valley. Jane Fonda's Being a Teen is a wonderful tool for a minister. Teenagers and their sexualities are fragile and complicated. Ms. Fonda offers us sound ways to help them learn to negotiate this thrilling and scary time. Strong and accessible, this is a book to read and to refer back to. I can think of no higher praise. I am so grateful to Ms. Fonda for this celebration of life.
Being a Teen is an excellent resource for anyone who's looking for the truth about sex or relationships.
Our class has decided that being a teen is a wonderful guide to yourself and to others. A pocket encyclopedia, a guide to the roller coaster of puberty. It answers questions that would be difficult to ask. She talks about how changes in our bodies are normal, even about male breasts and about bacteria. It covers all types of birth control because couples who become pregnant really need information about choices. Even topics like homosexuality are written about neutrality because LGBT people are not so different than straight people.
And it covers making good choices, like when to drop bad friendships and make good choices, and communicating clearly to parents too. Because we shouldn't push parents away even if we are becoming more independent. It's a reference book that would really be helpful for kids who didn't have out.
Thank you.
Jane.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I did not expect that. That's just wonderful. I've got to show it to my grandson. who's 15 and refuses to read the book. You know, when your grandmother writes a book about that. I thought you were going to show them Barbarella, though. That might have been more interesting. Although that's probably just old hat now for kids these days.